Okay, so we just arrived here with the materials needed for this project. So as you can see, this is the existing surface. This is a patch that we did, and throughout definitely needs a lot more work. However, that's the only budget that we had right now for this property. It seems like they did some well, there's some more damage there and there, but they just don't want to do that work right now. You can see some old patches of when they installed these EV stations. They had to run the electrical work through there. But yeah, overall here we have the team getting everything ready. So they're unloading the seal coat machine. That's what they call the seal coat machine. Buggy, it's self-propelled, meaning it has an engine, a motor, and it releases the material through the bottom as it dispenses it. It also disperses it. You know, it dispenses and disperses it at the same time.
Oh my God! Wow!
And yeah, with the squeegee, basically, it's laid into the asphalt material. So that's how this works. And we're gonna follow him along today just to show how this operation works. So we'll be following this seal coat man around. There's the other seal coat man. Getting that machine ready, prepped up. And if we move over here, so there we have one of our estimating project managing truck right there. A mobile office basically with high-speed internet. The EV station. So we have another work truck there. Striping equipment. That's what we use to stripe. So those are typically the striping machines used. Then we have the trailer there set up with everything with the stencils, the paint, basically for the parking lot striping. And then we're gonna follow them along. Here we have the work truck, all beefed up with lots of racks and storage and baskets up there. It's a Ram 3500. And let me show you more. It has a lift in the back, so it makes it loading and unloading stuff easier. And you can see right here. So we have some power blowers, some gas, some handheld blowers. Basically, this is the tools of the trade. We have those are the squeegees and some brooms. And all this is what basically, so there we have like a chest cooler of water for the team. Basically, we're always loaded with all the supplies needed. And if we walk over here, so you can see the condition of the pavement. It's really, really bad with a lot of patchwork from the installation of these EV stations. They're fairly new. They're probably like 2 years old. You can see some old patchwork that was done to run the conduit underground. And then everywhere else,
What did he say?
there's definitely patchwork needed here and there. But obviously, we're working with a limited budget, so we did some patchwork, but not a whole lot. So we'll probably come back in 3 years or so to do more patchwork as the condition of the pavement continues on to deteriorate through the use. Now, we are going to seal coat and stripe everything, so that's going to at least slow the deterioration rate of the pavement, because once you apply the seal coat, which is the coating, onto the surface of the asphalt, it protects it basically from the elements, from the wear and tear, and it also makes it look nicer and compliant to all the codes and regulations. So basically, this is the ADA area. There we have the seal coating man. Getting the machine ready and prepped up. This is our crew right there. Over there, he's prepping the surface by cleaning with a high-powered blower. And typically this is what happens when they prep the surface area. They power brush it, power blow it. You scrub basically wire brushes to make sure the surface is clean. And then the seal coat adheres. Oh, and then here we have the sprayers in the front of the machine. But yeah, overall that's the current status of this project. And yeah, we've done some work throughout this property. This is a returning client of ours. And you can see basically we always like keeping these properties maintained and up to all the codes and proper guidelines. So there's a path of travel for the ADA. We have more, the rest of the crew over here. They're waiting basically. We have a motorcycle over there. So basically this is a prep surface. This is what it looks like. As you can see, the surface is starting to show surface wear of the aggregates. You can see the white rock there. That means that it's plentiful dew for a seal coat. And yeah, there's the only issue is that there's a motorcycle right there in the middle of the work area, and so we'll have to kind of like figure that out. Sometimes people just park and leave their vehicles or stuff unattended, and who knows where they are.
A few inches later.
So yeah, definitely there's a lot of patchwork here that needs to be done. Obviously, we're working with limited budget, so I guess it's a phase 2 or phase 3 type of project that's planned out. So we'll be probably coming back in 3-4 years or so to do more patchwork and redo the seal coat and striping. So this is a typical maintenance required for commercial parking lots. You know, every 3 to 4 years, reseal and restripe. Keeps the property looking fresh, maintained, up to code. It also slows down the deterioration of the pavement. So that way, you know, it remains in good shape for longer and you incur less cost of repairs. You can see right now the crew. That's the machine dispensing the liquid. We have a project manager there. Making sure, supervising the work, quality control. It's always important to make sure that the work is properly managed. That way all the team, the resources, the materials are properly allocated and monitored. Ensure it's good quality as the work progresses. Here we can see the edge of the work. So basically, that's the purpose of this machine, right? It helps the work to be done in a quality and timely manner. So that way we don't take too long and we get to open the parking lots faster and sooner. Obviously, having the parking lot open is one of the main concerns of any commercial property owner. So we always have that in the four mines, forefront of our mines, and basically the machine is going to dispense some liquid at the bottom. That's what we call the seal coat material. And now Cruz getting everything squared away.
10 years later.
So by hand we have to seal coat all the edges. We're basically cutting the edges by hand just because the machine is not able to do those corners, right? Because you can't get the machine in. So we do all that by hand. But once we get into the open wide areas, we'll basically just do it with the machine, which is a lot faster and quicker. And this is a team basically right here. So I think the project manager just is talking with the stakeholder.
A few inches later. One eternity later. Thousands of tears later.
Basically, that's the procedure.
Yesterday. Two 2,000 years later.
That's the work that we do.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?